That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Until Deadpool and Wolverine came around, I was pretty solid that I think Shang-Chi was the best Marvel film they've put out since Endgame. Then Deadpool and Wolverine. Either way, it's a fabulous film. I love it. I've been dying to see a follow-up ever since. And then we had some complications. Destin, who was the director of Shang-Chi, signed up to direct one of the Avengers movies. He was going to direct Kang Dynasty. Well, then they totally changed directions on that. And then we thought, okay, they can get going on Shang-Chi 2. Then it came out they're going to give him Spider-Man 4. Now that John Watson stepped away.
Sure.
And he was going to do Spider-Man 4. Okay. But that leaves a lot of people, because they've made it clear they're not changing directors for Shang-Chi 2. So when the hell are we going to get a Shang-Chi season 2? Now, Simu Liu, of course, best known for Kim's Convenience, but also playing Shang-Chi. He was recently being interviewed because he's got that new underwater film he's doing with Woody Harrelson.
Last Breath. That opens this week.
That's open. So he was doing an interview with that. And the interviewer from Screen Rant asked him the question, said, hey, is Spider-Man 4 getting in the way here of Shang-Chi 2? And am I going to see Shang-Chi 2 before I'm 30? To which Simu Liu asked, how old are you now? And he said, I'm 24. And then he kind of dodged the question and stuff like that. And he said, no, seriously, are we getting Shang-Chi 2? So the Simu Liu said this: I don't think anything's been impacted by Spider-Man 4. I think I speak to Destin often, and there's nothing coming out of both of us but excitement to make this film. To which Woody Harrelson said, oh my God, that was a beautiful response. And Liu said, see that? I dodged it. So he didn't actually say anything. All right. As somebody who absolutely adores Shang-Chi and have been just scratching at the walls to get a sequel, and I really hope they find some way to bring Mandarin back. They don't need to, but man, I would love it. I am getting kind of impatient. It's been years now since we've had that Shang-Chi 2, and I even kind of think, well, I desperately want Destin to direct Shang-Chi 2. I'm at a point as a fan, I'm like, I'm willing for somebody else to direct it and all that kind of stuff. So Spider-Man 4 is absolutely having an impact on this. But then I thought about something. And I thought about this. You know what starts shooting in the next month or two? Avengers Doomsday. You know who I think is going to be, not the lead of the film, but you know who I think is going to be playing a part in that film? I think Shang-Chi is going to be playing a role in that film. And then that got me thinking, okay, so even if Destin wasn't doing Spider-Man 4 right now, would they even be in a position that they could shoot Shang-Chi 2? Probably not. Probably not. So I feel pretty good that we're going to get Shang-Chi back on the screen here pretty quick. And even if they weren't doing... Now, I still think we should have had a Shang-Chi 2 last year. Especially in a year where the only theatrical film we got from Marvel was just Deadpool and Wolverine. That being said, I understand there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. So, has it impacted it? Yes. But is the impact that big? Considering that I think we're going to see Shang-Chi pretty significantly involved in the next two Avengers films, maybe it didn't impact it that much. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, NordVPN. All right, let's be real. There's nothing worse than wanting to stream your favorite show or watch a live game only to find out it's blocked in your country. But guess what? With NordVPN, that is never a problem. With just one click, you can switch your virtual location and access content from anywhere in the world. I have loved using NordVPN. Whether I'm traveling and using public Wi-Fi or just shopping online, NordVPN keeps my personal info safe and private. By switching my location, I can even save money on flights, hotels, and subscriptions. It's like a cheat code for getting the best deals. NordVPN is the fastest VPN in the world, so there's no buffering when I'm streaming. Plus, their threat protection feature blocks malware, trackers, and phishing attempts, keeping my devices safe 24/7. And with just one account, I can protect up to 10 devices, so my whole setup is covered. So to get the best discount on your NordVPN plan, head to nordvpn.com/John Campea, and our link will even give you 4 extra months for free on the 2-year plan. Plus, there's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Links in the description. Check it out now. I don't know, Chris, you're looking at the situation. You heard Simu's response as well. How big of an impact do you think the Spider-Man 4 development has had on this? Do you think we're going to see Shang-Chi in the next Avengers film? Unravel all this for us.
This feels like a speed bump on the way to getting Shang-Chi 2, as opposed to an absolute blip where he's going to disappear and we're never going to see him again. I feel like you're spinning a lot of plates here, and you got to make all of these characters fit into the next phase of this universe and do so in a very thoughtful way, so we don't have the spaghetti on the wall effect anymore, right? This was a big problem that we've talked about ad nauseum of, what does this all mean? What is this all leading to? What is the point of this? Either make them standalones or make them connect. Don't do this wishy-washy nonsense. And I feel like that's the greater issue with all of these films happening. It's frustrating since we got Shang-Chi back in 2021 and it has a, 92 on Rotten Tomatoes?
Something like that.
Yes, 92. So we obviously are going to get a sequel. It'd be foolish to not get a sequel. It did well. Everyone seemed to really respond. Well, not
they
everyone.
Keep teasing about the rings in other shows and properties they're doing.
We've seen too, and I know that this doesn't mean much, but Shang-Chi also is getting lauded into What If and being put up on a little pedestal on that show as well, which is really great to see. So I feel like we're going to get this film, and I feel like it's going to happen, but he absolutely is going to be part of the Avengers. I mean, come on. He's definitely going to be part of what's happening in Secret Wars. We're going to see him in all these other things moving forward. There is something that even Captain Marvel wanted to know about with those rings.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're finally going to see these pieces come together in a way that should have a good, meaningful impact. And he's just part of this greater puzzle that hopefully will have a good payoff.
Let me ask a question that kind of addresses the elephant in the room here, Rob. You know, we've been wanting Shang-Chi back. It's been a while. They keep referring to the rings and other shows. He's being teased in What If. Destin is doing Spider-Man 4. Is Shang-Chi just going to be a big part of Spider-Man 4? Or if not, do you think he will or will not be a significant part of the Avengers? How do you see them using him moving forward?
Well, look, you and I both have great love for the first Shang-Chi. I really enjoyed it. I've always loved the character. I mean, it wasn't the Paul Gulacy, Doug Mensch version of the character from the 70s, but that's fine. I really like Shang-Chi. I like the fact that Marvel made a wuxia movie. I thought that was great. Here's the thing. Shang-Chi was not a huge box office success. So from a metrics and analytics standpoint, I can understand why it's not right there on the front burner. But I do think that Shang-Chi was a great character. And I think he's absolutely going to be a part. I mean, you know, the fact that his very uniqueness that he was only in one movie, I think people want to see him again. I think that film has grown in stature since the time that we saw it. I think the fact that, as Chris pointed out, he's been a part of What If, and that he's still there, I think bringing him back, it would be a welcome breath of fresh air to see that character. I think that he would put a smile on people's faces. So I think there will eventually be a Shang-Chi after these Avengers films, but probably not till after Secret Wars.
What do you think about the idea of with the Shang-Chi director directing Spider-Man 4 and them being so tight-lipped? Do you think there's a chance we see Shang-Chi playing maybe an Iron Man kind of role? Not as a mentor, but just an Iron Man size kind of role.
Maybe.
Like
I mean,
he was in No Way Home.
I mean, I could see him.
I meant Homecoming.
Yeah, I think he could be. I mean, he's more of a street level character anyway. Yes, the 10 rings are powerful. But I do think, or the rings, and I could see that happening. But obviously, Spider-Man's it's a much bigger priority for Marvel because of how much money the last No Way Home made, $2 billion.
And he is arguably Marvel's most popular character.
Yeah, so I don't even know if Shang-Chi would show up in that Spider-Man movie. I think it's a possibility because of the director. But it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't. But I do think that they want to get back to it because it's kind of his, Destin Cretton. That's his franchise as far as within the franchise. That's his, kind of the same way you had Peyton Reed doing Ant-Man. So I think they would want to get back together and work together. I think that would make sense. And obviously, you know, the thing about Shang-Chi too is it's not a movie that has to break the bank. You know, with Marvel spending all this amount of money, you can make a movie, I think, for lesser money. And I think that Shang-Chi is a place where you don't necessarily have to have the world ending. And I think that it would be a great, between different huge event movies, a Shang-Chi would be a welcome breath of fresh air for the MCU.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Are they just been delaying this because of Spider-Man 4? Maybe we're just not getting it because he's about to pop up in the Avengers film. He's got to start shooting that. Maybe we see him in Destin's Spider-Man 4 movie. What do you think the immediate future is for Shang-Chi? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.